It's your boy Zay-P, Zay-P the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. From the individual to the many, from the many comes the all, and the all is one. So your boy's back with a brand new video. How does one connect with their spiritual gifts or their spiritual abilities? So, what if we cleared out my thoughts and insights and actually tap in and channel I am, specifically on this for all of us on the awakening journeys. So, let me take a few breaths, clear out the energy space. We're going to tap and connect with the I am and connect with the higher self. And how does one connect with their spiritual abilities? Blessings, dear ones. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. And so, to address the question that was initially asked, how can you better access your spiritual gifts and abilities? Well, the first thing is to shift and adjust the mind. You have to begin to shift away from thinking that your spiritual gifts and abilities are something that you do not already have. You have to stop thinking that they are something that you are not innately connected to, as though you do not incarnate with these gifts and abilities already. It is not that you are not connected or do not have access to them. It is that you are unskilled and untrained in how to use them. Just as the baby. When you are initially born, you have 2 legs. You have all the capability needed for you to get up and walk. However, it takes time. It takes progressive learning of that baby in order to embody that ability, that aspect of what it is to be human. There's the learning of how to balance. There's the learning of how to maneuver. There's the learning of speed, acceleration. There's the learning of force. There are all sorts of progressive, incremental steps that come into place before one is up on their feet and walking. And this is the same to be said for your spiritual gifts and abilities. But the first thing that that baby must realize, must come to awareness of, is the simple fact that that baby has legs. This is awareness. So if you wish to access your spiritual gifts and abilities, it is about becoming aware of what you are already in possession of. So far too many are walking around fully embodied in their abilities and feeling disconnected because they simply do not understand what they possess, how they are using it. Awareness. And that takes to be invested in the present now moment. You have to be present to what is happening around you. You have to be aware of what is happening within you. How is the stimulus around you affecting within you? What are you experiencing? Is there sadness? Is there fear? Is there temperature? Do you feel hot? Do you feel cold? What are the sensations? What are the thoughts, as fleeting and passing as they may be? For all of these nuanced variables inform the specifics of that perception, of what you perceive, of one's ability. You may have a heightened ability to smell. Others have a diminished sense of smell, while some have an enhanced sense of smell. Well, what if there were smells that were beyond what we believe are possible? Such scents may not be able to be picked up by the human nose. However, you will find animals to smell and pick up those scents. With the shift of a breeze, an animal can help track and locate a person across miles. Whereas people may not smell a particular thing until they are within the same building. Now, the more aware you are in the moment, the more you begin to recognize how sensitive is your ability to smell. What if you began to smell in ways that were beyond interpretation? Smells that appeared out of nowhere for no reason. A whiff of cologne, a smell of pancakes while you're walking down the street. There's no diner, there's no restaurant, there's no reason for that smell, and yet here comes this whiff. What is that about? Is that simply you having a heightened sense of smell, even though that smell came from nowhere? Or is that heightened sense of smell now something considered sixth sensory? Have we gone from the basic 5 senses that we consider humans to be limited to recognizing that those 5 senses can perceive in many different ways, much, much deeper than we may have thought? Perhaps in various ways, 1 or 2 or a few of your senses may naturally already be heightened. But it takes awareness to recognize that. And it takes a willingness to explore it. And so that is what we would deem the next step. Willingness. Many times you come into an experience that is unexplained or that seems without merit. And rather than explore the possibility, rather than face the fear of what it may or may not be, many will choose to run, many will choose to avoid, many will choose to resist. And so without the willingness, you block yourself off from your own abilities and gifts. For it is the same thing as the child who shuts its eyes before the scariest part of the movie. When you shut your eyes, you miss what happens. You miss the actual experience of what was to be explored. You miss that opportunity due to the fear. And this is not to say fears are not justified, but this is to recognize what it is that you're doing when you shut your eyes and turn away. And so if you have an experience like this random whiff of pancakes again, now this random whiff of pancakes is no longer just randomly down the street, but throughout your day, it begins to pick up. You find yourself in the office, it's nowhere near lunchtime, maybe you're in the restroom, all of a sudden, wow, here are these pancakes again. Am I thinking about pancakes? What does pancakes make me think? You go about the rest of your day. Maybe you're in the Mexican place getting some takeout, getting some lunch, getting some dinner. Wow, what is that? Pancakes? Why do I smell pancakes? It's Mexican here. I see Mexican all around me, but I'm smelling pancakes. What is going on with this? Am I crazy? Perhaps this whiff of pancakes follows you for the week. Just unexplainable. To the point where you may find yourself asking, am I making this up? Am I crazy? Why do I keep smelling pancakes? Maybe you even believe you want pancakes. So you go to the diner, you get yourself some pancakes. That was tasty, but they were just pancakes. Yet this smell insists on following you. Now, some may start to get scary thoughts. I'm being haunted. I'm being pursued. Somebody's messing with me. And now you start to resist. You start to run. You start to avoid all experiences that might make you think of pancakes. Next thing you know, you block yourself off from that particular ability. For that smelling of pancakes could have simply been your grandfather reminding you he was always there, beside you all along, holding your hand, letting you know with the whiff of pancakes. And yet for those who fear and who fled the experience thinking maybe it was a haunting, that person has just blocked themselves. While the person who may recognize the visit from the beloved grandfather has now recognized the ability, the gift of heightened smell. But one needs the willingness to walk those steps. One needs not to fear and run when things get strange and unexplainable. For when one can let go of those attachments to the expectations, then one can explore these abilities to allow them to grow and flower rather than run from them and shut them down. So the next step would be to become very sensitive and aware. Being aware of what you feel in the moment, being aware of the stimuli in the moment, being aware of your thoughts. This step can feel daunting. It can feel like a lot, especially if you are at the beginning of your journey and still unaccustomed to guarding the mind, to being present with the mind. If you are unaccustomed to making a consistent effort to be present in the here and now moment, can be rather fatiguing. And this is the cultivation phase of developing one's own spiritual abilities. For all things take time and practice, and you must have that patience. And so from the awareness comes the patience. Meeting yourself halfway with the patience and compassion and understanding that you are still learning, not to have any expectations, not to look at others and try to compare yourself, but rather to just be honest, completely honest and authentic to your own experience, because it is only through your own experience that you will come to harnessing your abilities and enhancing them. All those whom you may look up to, there are but examples of the own light that resides within you. If you are a Christian and you look up to Jesus and you see Jesus as your Savior, the way shower, showing you that that divine lives within, being the example for what is possible for you. For all of these patterns, all of these stories, all of these cycles repeat, for they are the images of what is possible for you. So with that, know you are never cut off from your spiritual gifts and abilities. It just requires the steps, as we've stated previously. There are other steps, and these steps are not linear. Here, when we speak, it is not linear. It is multi-dimensional. We speak from a higher perspective, as there are perspectives higher than where we sit currently. We sit from a perspective higher than yours. And again, this is not linearly. This is expansively. And there is no complete one answer, for all people are different. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Discern the truth in these words for yourself. You already are connected to your spiritual gifts and abilities, for you are spirit, and you are never disconnected from them. Thank you for this time in this space. So I would rehash those steps, but I don't really remember what they were. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, follow, because we appreciate building that community. Thanks for joining on this particular video. We'll see you on the next one.